Holy guacamole. I've only been gone for at least 3 weeks now, and so much has happened in Royal High, and I want to talk about it. So I know it's been a little bit of a hot minute. I was just debating on what kind of video content to post, but surprisingly, a new update in Royal High has happened without me noticing. I don't know how long this update has been in game. I don't know when this update was even released or talked about. I have been out of the loop for the longest with Royal High, so I have no clue. I didn't even know that this new campus was even in the works to begin with. I don't even know what's happening. I'm kind of confused. I did kind of briefly check it out just to see what it's all about. It's pretty much the same thing as like the other campuses that we've had. I mean, obviously, but I just wanted to talk about my thoughts and opinions on it because this is new. I don't know how new, but it is new for me because I just started playing it today and I was just like, you know what? I want to talk about my first impressions, my first thoughts and opinions on it because I've got some things to say. So first, I want to talk about the school and kind of my thoughts and feelings about it, obviously. And let me just say, I kind of like the old school, the old Campus 4 better than this newer version of Campus 4. I'm not exactly sure about the layout of everything. I'm very confused. It was the same thing with the old Campus 4. I say old, it was still new. I don't know if you can still go back to that campus, but it's still like older version of Campus 4. And I had to get used to the newer Campus 4, but everything was laid out in a way where you could easily find it. I feel like with this new campus, yes, it's a lot more smaller and condensed. Everything is quite literally on one side of the castle. So everything is not all over the place, but I like the older Campus 4 mainly because everything had a place. You had the bathroom, you had the office, you had the dorm rooms, and you can easily access them. I feel like I was struggling a lot of the time, and maybe that's just a me thing. I was struggling a lot of the time to find like the bathroom because before you could just easily just walk into the bathroom stalls or walk into the bathroom in general. You don't have to necessarily wait for that little button at the top to click get ready in the bathroom. Like I was genuinely lost and confused. And again, I still have to take time to explore it. So again, this might just be a me thing that I eventually just have to work around, get used to, because I felt lost. I was confused. Like there was so much going on. I also don't like this new mechanic in Royal High where they literally drag you off to the classes, especially if you're not actively participating in the classes. They still drag you off into the classes or into the waiting rooms. It's just like we don't have autonomy over our own character anymore. Like we literally don't have a choice but to go to those classes. And again, I understand why that's there, but it's really annoying, especially when you're just trying to chill, relax, or role play with your friends or something like that, and then all of a sudden you get dragged off to another class. Is that personally I find very annoying. And it's just like the only way you can even remotely role play is if you go to a different server where they don't have that kind of push and pull. Like I think it's like Campus 3, but that's mostly closed world. Everything is like in their own realm. The school, the dorms, the bathroom, the cafeteria, not that we have a cafeteria to begin with, are all closed off in different realms, which again is very irritating for role players. Honestly, most of the classes are the same except for changes here and there, like flight class, for example, has been changed like in a way where you have to collect a certain amount of rings to get the highest score, which was really cool. And considering that I didn't do all of the classes, there might be some differences that I might not even mention, but most of the classes have been pretty much the same. It's just harder for me personally to find them all. I'm still very new to this whole campus thing. I'm not exactly sure about the layout of everything. I like how small it is now. I like how it's not all over the place, but I think I liked it better because of how everything had its specific location. You could easily find the bathroom. You can easily find potion class. You can easily find English or math class. It's not technically just in one condensed area. The pre-recorded video that I made prior to this was just me checking out the area, going through everything. Everything is pretty much the same other than that point. Obviously, I have to do some more exploring. Another thing that I really like though is the little side quests. So you have like your main 3 quests from your diary that you do every day, like, you know, hair tangles or eating something, taking a nap, things like that. But then you have like these side quests where if you go into like the main lobby or the main room of the dorms, if you will, the main room of the school where there's a slide, you can slide that down that slide. I don't know how many times a day in the game that you can slide down that slide, but you get 18 diamonds from just sliding down that slide. Or if you want to go outside and go lay on the lounge, you get like 18 or 20 diamonds, I think, for just lounging on the lounge. And I really like that small implement in the game. Even though it's something small to do, you do get a good amount of diamonds for it just from doing like a simple task here and there. I don't know if they have any others around. They probably do. I think there's even one where you get to chill on the couch and you get like a certain amount of diamonds. So it's just like a little side quest from the main quest that you usually be doing. So that's a little different. I also like how there's a lot more diamonds around campus, because if you remember, I would complain a lot about campus 4 and campus 3 not having a lot of diamonds and only having a certain amount of diamonds placed in random locations. And I don't know how often those diamonds respawn. So I like how there's plentiful diamonds to go ahead and collect. Each so far for me have been worth like 6 or 10 diamonds. I don't think there's a specific color that's worth like 40 or 30 or something like that. Like a good amount of the diamonds around are like worth 6 diamonds, which I really like. It's a small but subtle improvement from campus 4 and campus 3, where it really is just wherever it's at, you know, and if you don't get it in time, you just don't get it in time. And I want to talk about how simple it is again, because I don't know, I feel like in a way, even though it's not technically clear where everything is at, like the bathroom and the washing room and all those things, it's very clear that they're trying to make it where you don't necessarily have to wait for a loading screen, which I do like, but at what cost? Because I feel like the actual realm itself is really small and confided to me. And maybe that's because everything is in its different realm, technically speaking, but in the same realm, but it is very small. Now, I'm saying this mainly because I don't know if I can go back to the other campus 4 before this one, or if that's even a possibility, or if it'll just bring me back here, because I'm not exactly sure how to feel about the whole condensed area for me personally. I think, again, that's just something I have to eventually get over and get used to, because it's not going anywhere. I'm hoping it'll like expand a little bit more in the future, but I tried like flying over the castle and I realized there is no flying over the castle because there's nothing to fly over to. So I definitely feel like in a way it really does feel tiny. It feels tiny. It looks really pretty though. As I've always stated with these schools, is that they're really pretty, but very, very small. They get smaller and smaller every time I look at it. I don't know. And maybe, again, I just have to explore the school a little bit more so that way I don't feel that way. But as far as I've been playing for a little while, it definitely feels very tiny and small. And that's how I feel about it. I don't really know if I'm missing anything else besides that factor alone. Again, there has been a couple like UI changes here and there, but nothing too significant that warrants me to have an actual topic or discussion about. I've already talked about the whole, automatic teleporting you to your classes and stuff like that, which I don't know if they'll ever get that fixed because that's not cute. And then I've already talked about the login screen. Like, so much things again has changed with Royal High, and I'm not exactly sure how to feel about it as of late. I want to still be positive about this game, but like I said, I have been MIA from this game for a while now, to the point where so many like small things have been changing. I wasn't even aware that the school was even in the works to begin with. So it's kind of surprising to me that this is happening, but I want to go ahead and hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on the new school or this new upgraded version of Campus 4. I don't know how many upgrades this school needs before it's finally quote unquote done. I don't know, but I'm hoping that these little updates will be over soon, because I'm kind of getting sick and tired of all this little surprises here and there. What they need to be working on is bringing back those events, okay? If they want to be updating certain things, is they need to update those events. The New Year's update event, the Snow Globe Summit, Wickery Cliff, they need to update those instead of updating the same campus that they have been updating for the past month and a half, okay? I'm just saying. But anyway, besides that point, again, let me know down below your thoughts and opinions on it. But remember, these are all my thoughts and opinions, and I would love to hear yours, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye, everyone.